Hey tea heads, this is Don from Mayleaf. You know the setup. If you see the inspection tray and a towel over it, that can only mean one thing, and that is we've got a fresh tea cake release. Here it is. Is it a pu'er? Is it a ripe? Nope. It's a white tea. Welcome to our new series of white teas called Simple Dreams. So for those of you who are following us, we've got Jade Star series, which is our aged blend of Shomei and Mudan tea usually from Fujian province. We've got our aged Shomeis, which we've kind of got this theme going of this character. We had Midsummer Light Show and we had Sunfire Ripple. And then we've got our Yunnan white teas, Flower Crane, Peony Chirps, etc. This is our fourth series of white teas. This is Simple Dreams, and our thinking behind Simple Dreams is this. We all love a good aged white tea, as we all know the delicious confection delights in the cup and the pretty woozy body sensation. However, finding aged white teas which are high quality is much more difficult because everyone's seeking it out, and a lot of the teas that have been sort of aged actually have just been left behind because they were not good enough in terms of the quality of the starting material. And so we're tasting a lot of aged teas for our Jade Star series and for our Midsummer Light Show Sunfire Ripple series, but the majority of them, 80-90%, probably even more than 90%, have a great smell, but don't have enough in terms of the sense of quality of the leaf in the mouth. And so what we've decided to do is create a range of relatively fresh, this is 2018, so it's actually aged for about 4 years, but relatively fresh Shomei that you can drink and enjoy right now, 100%, but also will become stellar aged white teas. And you're going to pick up a bargain because you're not paying for that extra sort of 7-8 years of aging. Here you go, artwork by Celine. So our thinking behind Simple Dreams is to sort of fit the name, take sort of like this idea of youth, children, and sort of create this idea of their sort of simple dreams. And in this case, it's my daughter Ayana holding a vase full of flowers, but the vase is actually a crocodile, because she at the time that we were doing this, she was obsessed with crocodiles. So this sort of crocodile vase of flowers, she was also obsessed with looking at all the flowers in our home. So this sort of like was a grouping together of the things that were going on in her head and in our imagination, maybe something that she would dream about, sort of standing barefoot in a little field. So a different style of artwork from Celine. I hope you enjoy it. I really love it. So this is Ayana. This is Simple Dreams. This is a 2018 Shomei. Let's open this baby up. And we'll see how it looks. Yeah, so you can see, if you compare that with Midsummer Light Show Sunfire Ripple, which is also a Shomei, but much more aged Shomei, they're a lot darker. You can see this is still relatively green, but the smell coming off it really has the smell of an aged white, actually. Oh my gosh, loads and loads of marzipans and custards coming off this. Amazing, just smell of the dry leaf. So you can see Shomei, actually our supplier was sort of a bit cheeky. He was saying, no, call it a Mudan. It's a Mudan. I was like, that's not a Mudan, that's a Shomei. But yeah, there are some buds there, but it's, in my opinion, that's a Shomei. So this is a 2018 Shomei. The cultivar is the Huacha number 1, he was saying. Huacha number 1. And the origin is from Fuding, so it's a Fuding Baicha. Picking on this is basically medium leaves, and the elevation is, I can't remember, around 900 meters? Let me just check. 950, I wasn't too far off. Okay, so I'm going to put this back down here. We're going to take this one over here. We're going to heat up our water, get everything going. And now I'm going to break up my first taste of pressed Simple Dreams. This has been a real frustrating one for me because Celine has been tasting this tea with our colleagues, members of staff, and they've been cooing and oohing and ahhing, and I've been like, I can't taste it until I do my tasting. But I've been so jealous. I have to admit, I have stuck my nose into the Guy one a little bit, but it really smells, from what I've smelt and from the sort of descriptions that Celine has been giving me, it really seems like it's a lot more aged in taste than it looks. All right, let's see. We're going to estimate around 7 grams of this. Put that to the side for now. Let's see how I did. Got my little chazé here. It's probably over, but you know me. Let's see. Oh no, might be under. Wanted 7. I got 7.5 with a little bit left. So we'll go with 7.5. So I'm actually not too inaccurate with my... It's always harder to judge weights when you've got it compressed because you've got to like pick it all apart a little bit. Okay, put that to the side. So, a white tea from Fujian, that is Shomei, that is a little bit aged, but not too aged. And our thinking behind this series is we're going to be mostly picking sort of relatively fresh teas, but teas that we think are just excellent material that you're going to love the taste of it right now. And if you are smart, you'll grab a tong and you'll age it because it will become even more transformed and even more expensive as it gets older. So a little investment into your tea collection for the future. And, you know, it is true that trying to find sort of 7-8 year aged tea now, white tea, is becoming very, very difficult because, you know, aging is a relatively new thing for white teas. And all the teas that were sort of in the 2010s, 2004s to 2012s, all of the good ones have all sort of like gone. There's a lot of sort of not so great teas out there of that age. And then everything that's sort of 2012 upwards is just super pricey because, you know, it's been intentionally aged. And again, if it hasn't been intentionally aged, then it may well be because it wasn't good enough tea to start off with in terms of the raw material. Let's see how this one fares. And I'm going to be making sort of comparisons to the Shomei series, the Sunfire Ripple Midsummer Light Show series. For those of you who don't know, you know, sorry if I keep mentioning it, but basically a series of aged Shomeis that we do with this character, this man, always sort of in a particular environment, sort of dreamy environment. Okay, let's get these in here. Yeah, that's a good amount. All right, here we are. Simple Dreams 1, because this is going to be a series. Let's see what the smell of the dry leaf is. Remarkable. It smells so much darker than it looks. I am getting tons of fruits. I'm getting cherry jam. I'm getting almond frangipane, like a butter frangipane. I'm getting cooked down strawberries. I'm getting cookie dough. Lots and lots of cookie dough. I'm getting marzipan. I'm getting plum wine. Oh, I mean, truthfully, if I hadn't looked at the leaves and I just smelt it, I would say that this was 7 years old, something like that. I mean, just look at the color of the leaves. They really don't look at all like, I mean, they look slightly aged, but comparatively, the smell is so much more aged. which is really interesting to me. A little bit of lotus flower as well, sort of a slightly soapy floral note as well coming through. Yeah, as I said, really interesting because I'm always sort of questioning how much does the cake making process change the tea and give it that slightly aged, fermented smell versus the actual aging. So obviously we tasted a lot of white teas, and when we tasted this Chaumet, I just thought this is a fruit bomb. Lots and lots of fruits. I was getting strawberries and cherries. I remember like writing like copious notes of fruits on the sample pack. But the cake aging has, the cake making has definitely given it an even more fermented, aged smell to it. And I hope that that's going to translate into the taste and the effects. Right, smell of the wet leaf. Wow. Oh, like fruit bomb. Grenadine, straight up like concentrated black currant liquor. I'm getting cherry jam again. Oh my gosh, the fruits coming off this it seems like almost impossible that this is just tea. It's so fruity. I'm getting butteriness as well. I'm getting butter biscuits. I'm getting marzipan. Oh, there is a little bit of a herbaceousness, but it's very, very light, considering how green those leaves look. Touch of like sweet tarragon, potentially. Wow, 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 wow. Fabulous smell. Now I know why Celine and the team were like cooing when they were tasting this tea. I was so jealous. I was like, I want to taste it. I want to taste it. But held off. I'm going to put this through a filter because it's cake. It's probably going to have a fair few broken up leaves just for the first infusion especially. Whoa, look at the color of that. It's like got a luminous orange gold, fabulous color. It always frustrates me. I see the color shining through and then I look up at these screens on these cameras and I just like, it just looks like dull in comparison. Really annoying. Let me shine some light through it. Hopefully that helps. Luminous gold orange. Okay, here we go. Simple Dreams. Oh. Like a simple, like whipped, sweet whipped cream. Fruits, other fruits. Custard apple. Custard apple. Creamy, sweet. Wow. It's sort of taking me aback how aged it really smells. All right, let's go with texture. Ooh. Oh. Almost fizzy on the tongue. It's not fizzy, but it has a very active sort of effervescent sort of feel on the tongue. Medium. Oh. Fizzy, like, it's not, I mean, I don't want to say fizzy because I expect people to think, oh, it's going to actually have a fizziness, but it has a very light, bright, dancing quality in the mouth. Taste. A little bit of banana. Jammy Dodgers. So jam, butter biscuit, jam butter biscuit. It's jammy Dodgers in a cup. And next to it, you've got like a glass of malted soya milk. For those of you who know those cartons of soya milk in Chinese supermarkets, the malted one, soya milk, jammy Dodgers. I'm getting that tarragon. I'm getting a little bit of sage. So that adds a certain savory note to it. But it marries very well with all of those confections of the jammy Dodgers and the malted milks. Oh, wow. Such an aged taste. I cannot imagine how good this is going to be in like 3 years. You know, if aged decently, it's just going to keep intensifying and intensifying and intensifying. Look at those leaves. Has a sort of brittle texture to it. So these are just opening up. You can see that they are quite green. I'm sorry I keep going on about it, but it's just shocking me how the sort of disconnect between the taste and the look. Judging by the look of those leaves, I have to say that when I saw the cake for the first time, I was slightly disappointed. I was like, ooh, I was hoping that the steaming process would have like just given a bit of a darker look to it. But actually, the taste is exactly like it tastes like it has. It's even more than I thought. It's tasting like an aged tea. Little bit of a dill. So it does have that sort of sweet tarragon, sweet dills, but then tons and tons of those sort of cherry jams and grenadines. Okay, let's screw up again. What am I doing? Aftertaste. Already ambrosial sweet. Little bit soapy. So I don't know whenever I say that, I'm sort of really associating it with a flower. Like I always think of white flowers. I don't know which flower is sort of like contributes to that sort of like, it's not jasmine. Those are too sweet. It's a little bit fresher. Flower experts out there might be able to help me. So it has a sort of like face cream, sort of slightly soapy, sort of floral note to the finish. Very pleasant, very sort of fresh and sweet. Let's give this one more infusion, and then we will see about the all-important body sensation. Getting darker, and you can definitely brew this many times and then do the boil at the end. So boil the leaves up for sort of 10-15 minutes. Yeah, I mean, it's got a little bit more minerals are coming through now. But still sweet. It's sort of like, I want to say like rock candy. With a little bit of again, like a slight sherbety sort of quality. This has a sort of fizzy, effervescent quality to it. And that would be something that's different from the aged teas. It's sort of got that youthful sort of vibrancy and lightness and effervescent sort of nature. But then the predominance in the taste of those plum wines and a little bit of guava. Custard apples, for sure. Dare I say durian? No, not quite. But it's moving in that territory of creamy, sweet. Yeah, cherry jam, blackcurrant. One of the things with white teas generally is that the flavor profile is something that you get from the first two infusions, and it stays and sets, and the sort of joy is that it just lasts for ages and becomes just sort of sweet and lighter, but just sweet water towards the end. Second infusion, buzzing, potent, fizzy on my tongue, tingly on my tongue, with that ambrosial sort of soapy flower aftertaste in my mouth. Let's have a smell. Oh, it is excellent. My gosh, this is going to age so well. Smell of the empty Gong Da Bei. Those sweet dills and tarragons. It's like I've taken tarragon and dill and I've put it in a sort of a sugar syrup, or I've sort of steeped it in hot water and then added sort of sugar. But it's also got like a steamed sponge pudding, so the aged part is going to come through. Steamed sponge pudding, like a jam sponge pudding, you know, very classic sort of British dessert, like jam on top, steamed jam sponge pudding. Delicious. I'm going to roll through another few infusions and I'll let you know if this is a tea drunk candidate. And the answer to that question is yes. Hell yes, this is a tea drunk candidate. Fifth infusion, and I'm going to stop after this one because I've, rolled through them quite quickly. Woozy, drunken, like what a lot of people want from an aged white tea. So it's got that energy of a white tea, but then just twisted into that little bit more stoned and woozy sort of feeling. Still got energy. It's not making me want to collapse or like relax too much. It's still got energy, but it's a sort of altered lateral energy. I feel like a little bit off kilter, but in a good way. I feel like sort of happy about it. It's sort of, but it is potent. I certainly wouldn't sort of recommend this tea if, I don't know, you wanted to really have a very focused like work session. This is going to probably spin your mind off in many different directions. Very potent. Super happy about that. It's been a while since I've had that white tea drunken feeling. And this has got it in spades. And again, what's it going to be like in a few years' time? We can only guess. But my guess is the odds are it's going to be rich and potent in taste and effect. Let's see what it's just continuing. The fruits, the steamed puddings, butter biscuits, the moving into the slightly ferments of plum wines, a little bit of marzipan and frangipan. Those are the sort of notes that you would normally associate with an aged tea. But then add on top that seltzery sort of fizzy quality, that sort of soapy floral note coming through, and then the dills, the tarragons. Less of the sage, more like sweet, sort of slightly anisey, sweet herbal notes as well. I am very, very much enjoying that tea. Right, here we go. Let's look at these leaves. They still feel a little bit brittle, so they've got a lot of infusions to give these leaves. It's a Chaumet. It's a Chaumet, which is a nice fine pick Chaumet, I guess you could say, because the leaves they don't look massive. They're medium size, I would say. And you can see on them this sort of, can you see this sort of two-tone? Can you see here? This two-tone look. You got that darker and green. So, partly due to the steaming and pressing into cake, partly due to age, partly due to the fact that white teas always tend to have a slightly more mottled look to it because of the processing of white teas. But it's that combo that is, you know, really, really delicious in the mouth. Simple Dreams. A great tea to pick up, to enjoy right now. Very much a tea to drink right now. But for those who know and want to really sort of add a future heavyweight to their collection, this is also a tea that will very much sit happily for years and just become richer and stronger. I hope that you enjoy it if you pick it up. I hope that you enjoy Celine's artwork. Let us know what you think of this new series of white tea cakes. That's it, tea heads. Check out our other videos, taste our teas wherever you are in the world by browsing mayleaf.com, and come visit us if you're ever in London. Other than that, I am a tea lifted Don from Mayleaf. Thank you for being a part of the revelation of true tea. Stay away from those tea bags. Keep drinking the good stuff and spread the word, because nobody deserves bad tea. Bye. Whew.